All right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. How many of you, just a show of hands, have not seen me present to you before? I know you're one. Oh, there's a few of you. Oh, that's great. So I hope you don't mind I take 2 hours instead of the 20 minutes. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I've been going to Laos for a long time now. I'm entering my 17th year, and I go for 4 months every year, and I have fun doing it. It's challenging. I'm getting old. I started with hair. I have none now. And it's hard for me getting up and down those mountains. I don't do the climbing of walls anymore, so the rock walls. So anyway, for those of you who have not seen me present before, how many of you know that? First of all, do you know where it is? Does everybody know where it is? There's a couple that don't. Okay, so it's between Thailand and Vietnam, and to the south is Cambodia. To the north is Myanmar and China. So it's completely landlocked, and it remains the most heavily bombed country in the world per capita. And so imagine a war for 9 years and a sortie, a plane load of bombs dropping every 8 minutes during that entire duration. You can imagine what's done to the psyche of the Lao people. They still struggle with their mental health issues. Those that were there during the time. So the average age is still fairly young. I think it's 25 or 26. It has gone up from where it was when I started. I think it was only 22 or 23 because a lot of them were killed. 30% of them died during the war. That's about all I want to tell you about the history, because I really want to get into what we did this last year and in Laos. And then I'm going to demonstrate this water filter to you, tell you what kind of a difference we're making. Hi. Yeah. So somebody show me how to start this thing. I think I can guess, but I don't want to, just in case.
He needs to share.
Yeah, so I'll just keep talking while you're getting that ready. You almost had it to the right.
Started, but I need to be able to share it. That will start the movie.
Oh, okay,
It doesn't
okay.
let anybody else see it.
Oh, it doesn't let me
It
share?
doesn't let the people.
Yeah. There. Perfect. Okay, so this video is about 30 minutes. No, it's 8. It's 8 minutes. But I want you to see just what we go through. I've got mostly music in the background there so that I can actually talk through it. And it's there we go. So this is Boonsam, one of our employees. He's balancing his motorbike on one of these long boats crossing the river. And then he gets off and he goes over 3 hours to get to his village. And it is a rough road. And I thought, oh, I really didn't want to go to that village again. I've been there once and welts and bruises and cuts. And finally I decided, no, I'm not doing this again. So I came up with another way of getting there. And I'm going to show you. I had to cross 8 rivers in order to get to that one village. And we were going to do a community center. We had a donor donated 25,000. So some of that money went to a community center and toilets. And that's Boonsam's own village. And he's the first one. It's the middle of the night there. And he just texted me, he wanted some pictures of the river here. So I sent it to him. So he's so eager to visit places. But you can see how rough the road is, eh? Good challenge. And there was this massive storm coming. And I'll tell you about it in just a second. But most of the people walk that, trek that. They don't have motorbikes. Yeah, my sister actually came with us. And so she wanted to give something. And so she got all these hats from Niagara Falls.
ตื่นเช้ามา
So that was my transport.
ไปทำงาน
I went to the
งานเสร็จ
I went to the shop and I bought all these cushions because
เพลงเก่า
there's absolutely no shock absorbers
ๆคิดถึง
on
เรื่อง
that
เก่า
job at all. You just hit straight bars. And so coming across it, I mean, I'm only able to take pictures when it's smooth. So it was kind of challenging. So, but it was starting to rain on the way back, and we did the official handover ceremony early in the morning, and then we rushed and took off and went to, yeah, that's better. Whoop. Anyway, so we went, so it was starting to pour rain and we knew that storm was coming. And so we hightailed it over and it started to rain about 45 minutes from our destination where we had our pickup truck. But man, that storm went right through, took off roofs, knocked down trees all the way down. So now we get into the clearing of the river area where they can bring the materials in from the village. So they have the water pipe, as you can see. They bring in the rebar, and you can actually hear it. The rebar and the 2x10s and all the wood that you could ever need to build the dam. You can hear that noise. That's the metal of rebar when you drag it. Oh, I recognize it, but most of you probably wouldn't. And so they're hard to see. Yeah, they're trenching there. So we get all the villagers involved in trenching. Anyone who's able will do some trenching, and that clay is hard as rock. But they chop through it. And they get that done. You can see the guy on the right. There he is. He's cutting the wood with. It's not a saw. They're hacking. And you know what? They make perfectly smooth cuts. I can't believe how they can do it. I cut my hand on it. Yeah, so this is a whole village doing it, and that's a finished water tap. They'll build a fence around it with bamboo just to give people a bit of privacy. But look at the village. The entire village went into to trench, and they can do 2 kilometers a day in trenching. The longest one I've ever done was 9.2 kilometers. So that's a finished dam without the lids. It's just the view of this is kind of skewed. It looks like it's not level and all that, but it is. And so here they're bringing in the big cement lids. I have to inspect them before they put the lids on. They're a bitch to get off too. They're so heavy. And then we put different size stone to filter out all the debris so it doesn't stay in the pipe. So that's a lot. 800 filters last year. 800 of them, each serving 6 to 8 people. So you're looking at well over 4,000 people got clean water last year alone, and that's because of some of you and Rotarians across Canada. They've just been so supportive.
With Mike Miller from the Whitby Sunrise Club, Rotary, one of the Rotary clubs in Canada, and there's a number of Rotary clubs that sponsored us here today, and with all these feminine pads, Mike himself and his wife have sponsored a lot of these, and we're going to be doing 2 or 3 villages like this. So it's pretty cool. And
He's my succession plan. He just doesn't know it yet.
First, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart the Rotary Club of North Scarborough.
I'd like to thank everybody on behalf of the girls here for their contributions to help create some equity. And, you know, I'm here on behalf of Whitby Sunrise and with Steve, but all the other people that have contributed to this are making a big difference in the lives of these girls. So thanks very much and appreciate it.
So we actually got 4 villages done last year. It was a banner year for us. We raised enough funds that we were able to do that. 4 villages, over 15 kilometers of pipe were trenched and buried. And so that was phenomenal for us. We'll never do that, so we aren't expecting to, but once in a while you get clubs that rarely give, and they all gave it in the same year. I guess everybody had a good year last year. So we were pretty excited about being able to do the extra projects. Oh yeah, here they're building the water tank. So it starts with the rebar, twisting, tying the rebar together to form the spine. And then they bring in these, and they made these by hand, these support walls to put up so they can mix the cement and put it in between. Look at how many Rotary clubs it takes to be able to do a water project. It takes a lot. So that's why I do so many visitations. I just love it. So 4 major projects, plus we had a little bit of money left over so that we could actually do some additional toilets. We had a district school supporting, I think there was 263 boys in the school, and they had lost all their toilets due to a major flood. And they literally broke. They couldn't shut the doors. They couldn't do anything. It was dangerous. And so we agreed to go back, and we did 2 banks of 4 toilets for them with to add to the only 2 they still had left working. So, and the girls were fine. Their side wasn't flooded. So, but there's a lot of pressure coming out of that. So we were pretty proud that we were able to provide that kind of support. And that was sponsored by Global Change for Children. That was the hall that we were the community center that we were planning to build, or that we built, the one that we went by tractor and Boonsum took many trips on his motorbike to get there. Wasn't easy, but we did it. Microsoft helped sponsor that one, so that was nice. They sponsor something with us every year. And so this last one, we had a little money left over. We said, look, we can't do everything for you, but you have a tank there. We know it's too small for you, but for now, run new pipe, do the dam. Next year we'll do the water. So that means this year. So we have just finished raising the money for that one. So that's kind of exciting. I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea what really does go on, behind the scenes. It's kind of challenging. I'm going to bring this over to the other side so I can show you the water filter. Yeah, you can turn that on. Okay. So anyway, I want to show you how this works and why the program is so successful. First of all, I'm going to let you come up and look at it after if you'd like, but this is the ceramic pot, right? Looks like just a flower pot, but it's not. It's coated with a silver nitrate solution. Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you. It has tiny pores in it, so it takes out about 98% of the bacteria, but it's the last 2%. The small bacteria still gets through. So we have to kill it. And the way to do it is we coat it inside and outside with the silver nitrate solution, and we rebake it. And that's good for the length of time this is able to be used, which is 6 to 8 years for a family of up to 8. And some of these last 10 years, we go back, especially after COVID, we had missed 3 years. And so some of these were literally destroyed. And so we had to replace them when we could get back into the village, but there was still some that was still going after 10 years. So it was pretty cool. So we also replaced this spigot on the front. The kids hang off it, but even if they break it again, that's no problem. They find a stick the same size and they just jam it in. So it's not a big deal for them. So thanks so much. Yeah. So at any rate, that's I wanted to point out the label on the front. The cost to us of just the filter it's about $60. It's not a big cost. We charge $125 because the rest of it helps us get to the villages to do the distribution, get the filters up there because they're manufactured in the south of Laos. And that's where the real cost is. It's not in the manufacture, it's in the transportation and getting us there. We have to, I don't like staying overnight if I'm by myself, I'll stay overnight in the villages, but you never know what you're going to wake up next to. It could be a snake, could be anything. And oh, so, and that has happened. So with one of our guests, I thought, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So at any rate, but what we do is for $125, e-transfer, credit card, next of kin will do sometimes. But you can buy a water filter. We'll distribute it for you, and we're going to send you a picture of the receiving family with their water filter, and you can zoom in on the label. You'll see the name that you wished us to put on there, or a picture, or both. A picture of your family, a picture of your dog, cat. We've had everything. We've even had a pet snake that was that they want us to put on. I thought, yeah, that's not going to be too exciting for the for the people who get these things, but they eat snakes. So hey, so anyway, if any of you have any interest in that, you get a tax receipt, and you can fill this out, or just send me an email. I'm in Club Runner under Whitby Sunrise, or just type in my last name, you'll find me. I think I'm the only Rutledge in this district. This coming year, what we're hoping to be able to accomplish is we want to get, we have 3 projects on the go. One is a school, and 2 others are just full-blown water projects. We're also continuing to support university students, although they have been sponsored now for the remainder of the year. We had our first student who graduated with their master's. Imagine so many years ago, we were sponsoring these little kids, right, in primary school. The last one graduated secondary school last year. So look at that, eh? And we're just so proud of all these. And a lot of them went on to go to get their bachelor's. And the last 2 are taking their Bachelor of Arts this year. Although the one that just graduated secondary school, I'd raised the money for him and to be able to put him through university. Well, he wrote the entrance exam for university, for college, and for and overseas into Vietnam for their sponsorship program. And if you were lucky enough and you had really good marks and you got chosen, that's a full sponsorship for the entire duration. And he whizzed through all those. He got accepted by the college, by the university, and by the Vietnam University. And so he was on a flight over there. The only thing is, he didn't know enough to ask, but he didn't know if he had to buy his own computer and all that. So we bought one for him and gave him $200 US because he's never been on a plane before. So he's going to arrive in a new country, not sure what to do. At least that'll get him, hopefully, they'll have made arrangements to pick him up, and he'll have a little bit of spending money to start with, but they'll take care of everything. So we're thrilled about that. That's one less for us to worry about. So, all right. I'm sure I forgot a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm sure you'll tell me what I forgot, right?